NHL March Madness is here. Oh, man. It is finally here, hockey fans. The month of March has arrived, and we are at the home stretch of the 2019-2020 NHL season. I do love the month of March, as I've said many times before. Partially because I was born in the month of March, but also because the month of March is the final full month of the NHL's regular season. It is the last full month before the playoffs, and NHL March Madness does transcend into the first few days of April. So, it's a nice even ending as March starts on a Sunday and the NHL season ends on April 4th. So we have an even 35 days. That's 5 weeks left in this insane regular season, and it is insane. We got 30 teams vying for playoff spots. Notice I said 30 and not 31. No, I did not suddenly forget that Vegas has a team. I'm saying 30 because this month, we already have an elimination. The Detroit Red Wings got eliminated from playoff contention on February 21st. Do you know how off-putting that is? To be eliminated that early in the season? I don't think they had played 60 games yet. Actually, they had played about 62 or 3 before they were mathematically gone. Amazing. Never thought I would say that about the Red Wings because I've watched hockey for about 20 years and followed it for about 25, and I'm used to seeing the Red Wings uh, playing in April, May, and in some cases June, but they're dead in March. The mighty have fallen. But that's just one elimination so far. 14 more will come, leaving the final 16 to advance and play in this wonderful round robin known as the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, what does the picture look like? Well, let's start with the Eastern Conference. Let's start with the Metropolitan Division. Pittsburgh, what the hell are you doing? Hello? Penguins? Are you there? I don't know. We seem to be. We can't see you. We can't. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Penguins. They have lost 6 straight. 6. They just lost 5-0 in San Jose. They got completely bushwhacked by the California teams. They lost in LA. They lost out here in the OC, and they went up north to San Jose and got just destroyed. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Penguins, and it's getting so bad. It's become so bad. Philadelphia has now passed them. Washington is leading the Metropolitan because, of course, they are. But it's only by 3 points because as they've kind of been slumping. Philadelphia is really the best team in the Metropolitan right now. Washington's last 10 is the same as Pittsburgh's, 3-6-1. That's not really good. Washington's been slumping, but they're not on a bad losing streak like the Pens are. Philly has won 5 in a row and 8 out of 10. And because of that, they are 3 points out of first place and a point ahead of Pittsburgh, which means if the season ended now, the Pennsylvania teams would be going at it, but it would be the team on the eastern side, the southeastern side, really, of the state that would get home ice advantage. Ooh, that's big. In the Atlantic, well, there's 2 races in the Atlantic. There's the race for first and there's a race for third. And each race has 2 teams in it. Boston and Tampa Bay are pretty much the only teams in a neck and neck race for first place in the Atlantic. Boston's up by 7 points. They entered the month of March just 6 points away, which is 3 wins from the century mark. Of course, the record is kind of deceiving as 12 of those points came via overtime losses, and 7 of those 12 were in a shootout. They haven't won a shootout yet. But they have 94 points. That number doesn't lie. They are 7 points ahead of Tampa and 10 points ahead of Washington as far as first place teams go. The race for third is pretty interesting, and that's because you better finish third or else you're out of it. Um, Toronto is ahead by 5 points over the Panthers, 78-73. Toronto got a big win over the Panthers in Sunrise a few days ago to stay ahead in that race for third place because the top three in each division get in. And regarding the wild card race, which I will definitely mention now, Florida, because they're in fourth, they are pretty much screwed because there are four metropolitan teams ahead of them. Let me put it this way: pretty much every team not named the New Jersey Devils has a shot at making the playoffs in the Metropolitan Division. Both New York teams, the Islanders and Rangers, are in the thick of things. Columbus and Carolina are in it. Right now, the wild cards would be the Islanders and Columbus would be that team that faces Boston for the second straight year. Last year, those two teams faced off in the second round after Columbus finally won a series. The Islanders would face Washington. That would be interesting. And of course, it would be Tampa Bay and Toronto in that other Atlantic series. But yeah, so it's a very tight race. Islanders have 78, Columbus has 76. The 1 point ahead of Carolina was 75, and the Rangers, thanks to that big winning tear they've been on, they've won 8 out of 10 and are just 2 points out of a spot. Florida is actually 3 points out of a wildcard spot, but they need to get to that top three because there are four teams ahead of them. There are four teams ahead of them. Montreal, 7 point deficit is makeable, but the way they've been playing, they pretty much forget it. Same with Buffalo. Um, Out west, oh, it's good to be an Avalanche fan, isn't it? Avs have won 6 straight. Problem is, the Blues have won 7 straight. And this is a problem for the Avalanche because, now, don't get me wrong, we are staying ahead of Dallas. We're 4 points ahead of Dallas. We may end up playing Dallas if we don't win the division. But this is a big problem. We are 3 points behind St. Louis. We don't play St. Louis until April 4th, the final day of the season, which means throughout the first 34 days of this home stretch, we have to pull for teams to kind of take St. Louis down a notch. It's not happening. They were being down a few notches. They had a bad losing skid. Now they can't. Now they can't buy losses. They've won 7 in a row, including a shootout win against Dallas tonight. Of course, the Avalanche won in Nashville. So yeah, so St. Louis' opponents, kind of help us out a bit. Even the Islanders lost to them, and that's off-putting. So yeah, St. Louis 88, Colorado 85, Dallas 81. That's top three in the Central. The Pacific, boy, has that changed. A lot of us wondered why the hell Vegas fired Gallant, and a lot more of us wondered why the hell they would hire Peter DeBoer. But it seems to be working out. Vegas has won 8 in a row, and they've only lost once in regulation the last 10 games, and they are in first place by 4 points. Remember, Vancouver was up there for a good bit, but they've fallen off a bit. They fall from first to third. It's Vegas, Edmonton, and Vancouver. That's the top three of the Pacific. But even so, it looks like the Canadian population in the Stanley Cup playoffs could increase a bit. Last year, it was only who made it? Who made it last year? I think it was Toronto, Calgary, and Winnipeg who made it last year. This year it's Toronto, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Calgary who are all above the playoff line. Though Nashville lost in regulation, they still have a good shot. Nashville's in the wild card race. Calgary and Nashville will be the wild cards. Calgary is 73, Nashville is 72. Winnipeg also 72. So does Arizona. However, Nashville has 3 games in hand over the old Jets and the new Jets. Minnesota's in the thick of things, 1 point out. 1 point out. And they also have 3 games in hand over Winnipeg and Arizona. So it's going to be a very interesting wild card race in the final 5 weeks of the season. Chicago, they're 6 points out. They have an outside shot. And pretty much any team that plays in California is screwed. Oh, goodness. So that's pretty much a look at how things are shaping up entering the month of March. Entering the month of March. The final 5 weeks begin, and I will, as usual, I will have a weekly recap. I usually post them on Saturday, but because it's so even, it's 5 weeks even, I will post a weekly recap after right after Saturday's action ends late that night. So, and for any playoff clinchings, I'll post my congratulatory videos for any clinchings regarding playoff spots, division, President's Trophy, top spot in the conference. Doesn't matter. If you're in, you'll get my congratulations and beyond. So, with that, I say the home stretch is here. Enjoy it responsibly. And I'll be here with a weekly recap, I'll be here with a weekly recap on YouTube coming this upcoming Saturday.